Welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Amritanshu Rai and you're watching Constitutionally Yours from this lovely campus which is the Manipur High Court in Imphal. In this program we make an attempt to demystify the Constitution. Today we will take up provisions in the Constitution relating to the northeastern states. In an attempt to do this, I'm joined by a distinguished panel of guests which includes Mr. Hemochandra Singh, he is the Law Minister of Manipur. Justice Maiban Binoy Kumar Singh, he is the former judge of the High Court of Guwahati and has been nominated by the Chief Justice. I have with me Mr. Joykisan Singh, leader BJP Legislative Party, Manipur Legislative Assembly. And joining us in the audience is our students from LMS Law College, Imphal, a bright set of students. And we are here in this beautiful campus of Manipur High Court in Imphal. Straight away getting into the topic. Article 275. Article 275 talks of grants in aid for states in need of assistance. Now this is the extra money that the centre can give to the northeastern states to ensure that they develop faster. It actually says such sums as Parliament may by law provide shall be charged on the Consolidated Fund of India in each year as grant in aid of the revenue of such states as Parliament may determine to be in need of assistance, and different sums may be fixed for different states. But the whole point is, this is largely focused at providing faster development to areas which have not kept pace with the rest of the country. But before development happens, one prerequisite is a requirement, and that is peace and order. So what is keeping Northeast from attaining that peace and order so that economy can be given a chance? My question to you, sir, is what are the issues that are holding back Manipur?
I feel that it is an ongoing process. The constitutional safeguards are there. But 275, you may talk about the funds are going to come from the Consolidated Fund of India, there are constitutional safeguards, but whether enough has been done by the union government. In this case, it is the onus is on the union government of transferring certain funds which we feel is necessary for the development of the northeastern states. Say for example, in the particular case of Manipur, for instance, which has been in turmoil for so many decades, I should say, not years, in terms of 30, 40 years or so. So here, although the constitutional safeguards are there under Article 275, 276, 277, but the question is that has enough been done? Is it commensurate to...
How would you say? Has enough been done or not?
I certainly feel not enough.
Do you think that peace and order is a prerequisite for development and economic development?
Definitely.
What are the issues? Where do you think, because of what political issues which remain to be resolved, that peace and order is not being able to come to Northeast?
So Amritanshu, peace and development should not be, to my mind, a condition or a precondition for constitutional safeguards. You cannot say that there is no peace, there is trouble in Manipur, so we cannot transfer funds. That is not an excuse. See, development should be seen on parity. I mean, like, for example, Manipur, to my mind, at this point of time, even or for that matter, the northeastern states, is not in the same state which was there 10 years back. So this is a very right time, these are good times, where the Look East policy is happening. You can see the infrastructure happening. You're seeing a beautiful high court here. A lot of people wouldn't even know that we have also moved on. So this is a time when, things have to be done in tandem.
I'll get in Justice Binoy Kumar Singh. Sir, you have been dealing with cases of Northeast. You have toured the entire Northeast as part of your judicial activity. Sir, the development and the peace and order, sir feels that it's an ongoing process. We have attained some landmarks, but much more needs to be done. Essentially, what is holding back the enhanced rate at which the Northeast should grow?
people should be aware of all this, that our constitution is meant for us. And we, all the citizens, see, ministers, they are also citizens, public servants, they are citizens. They have the responsibility. We are not under any outsiders. We have to realize this fact, and we have to take essential and necessary steps for our own development. We can certainly use this provision and ask the central government to release the necessary fund.
So it's basically the people who are tasked with the job are not giving their 100%.
I think so.
Mr. Joykisan, how would you say, what are the issues that are really holding back the northeastern states to really go ahead as far as development is concerned, happiness is concerned, better lifestyle is concerned, better infrastructure is concerned, better education and everything?
It is peace and law and order. There is no peace at all in Manipur. Even in the valley districts, there is no peace at all. Even though granite and aid is coming from the union government to our state, it cannot be done as there is no peace and there is no law and order. Actually, more in the hill areas, no one has been taken under granite aid because of disturbance from the UG persons. It is a well-known fact.
UG forces would be underground forces.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Because no project work can be completed for the first 5-6 years. Actually, it should be completed within 1-2 years, at maximum 2 years. And the UC has to be given to the union government so that we can get more funds. But we cannot do as we cannot control the UGs. So the government should try to negotiate with these UG peoples, or at least we should try to bring peace in Manipur. Even in the Valley district, you know, even today itself there are a lot of burns blocked everywhere because of these ILP issues. So at least until and unless no peace is there and no law is there, no development work cannot be done.
So I'll pass on the question to our law students who are from LMS Law College, Imphal.
My question is that, is the implementing machinery of the state lacking in performance?
I will say no, because I think the state under, various regimes, it may be this dispensation or the dispensation before this, I think the state has been continuously struggling very hard. But the working conditions are very difficult. I mean, one has to appreciate that we are working against, of course, notwithstanding the fact that the law and order issue is a major problem still. What the honorable opposition MLA has said is also very correct. But on the part of the executive, I think no effort has been left, to my mind, as far as we could do. And I'm sure, I think the public will agree with us that substantial changes in terms of improvement is also visible at the same time.
Next question.
Sir, what help can we take from judiciary to make sure that implementing agencies of the state functions properly in the interest of the people?
Yes, sir, I'll simplify the question. And it's a very pertinent debate that's happening everywhere.
It's a very nice question.
The political outfits are not known for taking unpopular decisions. And that is where the judiciary has to intervene and interfere and take unpopular decisions. So how is the judiciary being able to help in that?
In the right situation, and if the situation demands, yes, certainly judiciary may intervene. But essentially it is the function of the executive, essentially, to carry out the development projects, to make policy decisions. All these are for the executive.
But a lot of public interest litigations must be coming to you relating to these issues.
Yes, yes.
Does the judiciary intervene?
Yes, sometimes we do. Sometimes judiciary intervene. But not, you see, because of the intervention, sometimes judiciary has been accused for activists. See, so we have to exercise some restraint also. Our role is basically to decide disputes, not to carry out these developmental works.
Activism. Judicial activism is what you are not in favor of.
No, I don't.
Another next question.
We have seen many government schemes are not implemented properly on time. So, what do you think it is necessary to constitute an independent body like CBI to monitor the implementation of government schemes that can punish those who are unable to implement those schemes on time?
Sir.
Oh, to me. Nice question. Amritanshu, it is really very much need of the award for the state of minister. So as Mr. Khamba is asking, everybody's mind is in like that because a lot of fund has been coming from the central government. No one can say that Indian government is not funding our state. I, as a legislative leader, I know a lot of fund is coming. So a lot of works are not being done. For the last 5, 6, even there are works which are not doing for 7, 8 years, even though it has been in case. It has been 100% funded. So, as Mr. Khanba is suggesting, there should be some act or something has to be done. Handing over to the CBI directly cannot be done because it has something, it has to go first to the case or something, some legal formality is there. But as Mr. Khamba is suggesting, in a state like Manipur, something has to be done immediately because most of the works, around 80% of the funds funded for the Indian ministry has not been done properly. It has been already debated in the assembly, even the Honorable CM admitted a lot of work, more than 500 to 1,000 crore has been not being taken up in the MDS department itself. So what Mr. Khamba is suggesting is the need of the award in our states like Manipur.
I will get the executive in. Sir, you would like to the funds. Is funds a problem?
Funds are not a problem. For the flow of funds from the center to the state in our system, in the federal system, it's an ongoing process. It's a natural process. It is not important who is the executive at that point of time. See, certain funds are transferred from the Consolidated Fund of India, and what is due for the state of Manipur is not going to change. The quantum can change with the new governments. But yes, definitely I would agree where the opposition leader is saying is that about accountability, as the young student has said, that it is about whether those funds are used. It is not about the quantum, it is about how it is utilized. If there's certain amount of time, there's a time frame to complete a certain work, then you have to give UCs. On those kind of things and on those specific issues, and he's rightly said these issues have come come on the floor of the assembly, and I think accountability should be ensured.
Right. That's all we have time for in this segment. It's time for us to head into a break. When we return, we will take up provisions like Article 302, 303, 304, which is largely at providing protectionist measures to the states in the northeast. Welcome back. You're watching Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha TV. We will take up Article 302, 303, 304. This is a set of articles from 301 to 307 in the Constitution, which provide for various mechanisms to provide protection to states which need help and support. So 301 is the most important overarching article, which essentially states one simple thing, and which is freedom is guaranteed throughout the territory of India without any protection for all citizens to conduct whatever activity they have to. Now, this is the overarching umbrella provision for all the other articles. So 302 goes on to say, 302 provides for provisions for the center to make laws providing protectionist measures. 303 allows center not to discriminate between two states. At the same time, it also allows the center to provide for special provisions which will provide protection. 304 essentially allows the state government to protect itself and so on. But at no cost can any of these provisions violate the freedom guaranteed to operate activities all across India for every citizen. My question to you, sir, is, are these provisions really being used by the center? Because we just saw that there is an inner line permit issue in Manipur. They want protectionist measures. Your government has also provided for 3 bills which are supposedly pending with the president for approval, and that is a mandate under this provision. So protection provisions in the constitution, are they being really utilized well?
Amritanshu, on these provisions of the constitution, this could be more or less a personal opinion, you can say, because the provisions of this constitution has not been aptly used, to my mind.
Yeah.
302, 303, 304. There are inherent problems in the constitution itself, because the constitution, this is a paradox also in some ways, because there are too many saving clauses. 301 empowers you with, it gives you an umbrella. Then 303, 304 clause 1 limits you also.
Yes.
See, you say that reasonable restrictions can be imposed on trade and commerce, but at the same time, the same 304 says that it has to be also moderated, things of that sort. But what I feel is that on the issue of Manipur, or even for the Northeast, more flexibility is required, and the umbrella which 301 gives has to be, to my mind, enforced very strictly in accordance with the growing needs and the current scenario which is existing in the states. For example, economic rejuvenation is very much required. When you talk about certain trade restrictions, say for example, it's a border state.
Yeah.
See, when you talk about the sheer economics, this Imphal or Manipur can be the entrepot for the entire, Southeast Asian, highway.
Yeah.
So I think reasonable restrictions, if it is imposed in Nagaland, for instance, or some restrictions imposed in Assam, it also defeats the whole purpose of the powers given by the constitution itself.
Correct.
So there, I think some thinking and some work needs to be done.
Judiciary has largely been interpreting these, and these are very not regularly used provisions. I mean, when the constitution has it, it should be used really well, because these are special provisions. Do you see an inherent contradiction in 301, 2, 3, 4?
In my opinion regarding this, I do not see much contradiction as such, because it is only to meet the practical realities of the business, trade, commerce. See, 301 says it shall be free throughout the territory of India. It is trade, commerce, intercourse shall be free. Then 302 says reasonable restraint may be in the public interest.
Public interest.
Yes, that is also essential, necessary. And 303, there should not be any discrimination between the states. There shouldn't be any preference to one particular state. Then the parliament is again authorized to frame law, say, giving this discrimination to meet the situation arising out of scarcity of goods. That is also essential.
So do you think these are just provisions for trade or commerce, or is it also for, the word is intercourse. So does that mean that the societal movement, the mingling among people, that is also governed in this?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So in this case, the inner line permit, the issue that is at present occupying Manipur, also is governed by this.
To some extent, yes, that is also.
Okay, I'll get Mr. Joykisan in. Do you think that these provisions are not being used to provide enough protection for your state, which is the need of the hour?
Yes, I think so. In these provisions, it is not enough actually for our state Manipur. That's why mainly 90% of the people of Manipur wants to implement inner line permit. That this bill has been passed in the floor unanimously also. Unanimously means all the people of Manipur wants it. So it should be immediately taken up, this act to be implemented. Until and unless one act for the safeguard of our state, then our state will be intense. So no development work become, nothing can be taken up. I already said to you that until and unless peace and law and order is not maintained in our state, no development work can be done. Nothing can be taken up. So it is to be taken up first. Government, union government and the state government have to be discussed in hand in glove. And we should solve this problem at earliest.
Mark, the question, we'll take questions.
So my question is that how the legislature met the restriction on trade and commerce?
Yes, in some cases there are restrictions. Say for example, import of this liquor has been restricted. It is in the public interest because it is harmful to the public. So we have met some restriction. This government has restriction on this tobacco also. You must be knowing. We are banning tobacco because tobacco causes a lot of disease. It causes health hazard, and it is the main factor for cancer also. So we are implementing something. This government has been doing something under Article 302. This has been to be taken up because we have to restrict something. I am mentioning 1-2 points. So it has been to be taken up until unless it be taken. If these are imported and no restriction is there, small states like Manipur will be spoiled.
Next question.
Good morning. My name is Kritiva Shuhangbam, and my question is to the executive. So how can we breach of the economic gap between our landlocked state Manipur and the mainland India?
That's very important because see, notwithstanding the provisions in the constitution, as rightly said, bridging the economic gap is more important. For example, see, restrictions, as the honorable judge also has mentioned, that the restrictions are actually meant to benefit the state. If certain restrictions are being done, whether it is tobacco or it is any other item, that is it benefiting economically?
Public interest.
Public interest, as the questioner has just said. And with landlocked states like Manipur,
Yeah.
I mean, being landlocked, the cost of transportation is very high.
Very high.
The cost of building materials coming is very high. Labor cost is very high. So to bring about this economic parity with the rest of the country, for example, one brick may cost a certain amount of money in Delhi, but that same amount of brick may cost more here.
Yeah, yeah.
So what he says is that with landlocked states like Manipur, say the concept of subsidies has to be, brought in. The concept of, you can say speedy, implementation of projects like the railway, link infrastructure. So all these have to be dovetailed along with the constitutional, you can say facilities, which is with the provisions.
Next question.
The provisions are very much contradictory to our free movement of trade and commerce. So have you done any initiative regarding this provision to amend or anything change in this provision?
Free movement of goods, legislation allowing that and bringing parity of costs.
Actually, the state government, I think as a role of the opposition, MLA, we are doing for the public of Manipur. So whatever is to be restricted, we are doing. Say, for example, as already I have mentioned, this banning of liquor, banning of decor. Not only this, we are also giving restriction on transportation of this timber also, because it may be imbalance to our environment. So it may be health hazard to us.
So you would like to add something? You'd like to add something to this?
No, I just want to say freedom of this trade, commerce, route is guaranteed by our constitution, but that is subject to the other following provisions.
Yeah.
And no freedom can be absolute as such. There should be always some
reasonable restriction.
At the same time, these two concepts, regulation and restraint, they are two different concepts. So far as regulation is concerned, so many regulations are there. But restraint, so far as restraint is concerned, only the parliament is authorized to make the law, that too in the public interest.
Right.
Can
Correct.
I just
Yes.
add,
Please.
what restrictions already exist in terms of goods, for instance. It could be tobacco, it could be timber, it could be, of course, there is a current ban by the Supreme Court, as you know, about timber flowing in. So I would not comment on that because it is in the realms of the judiciary.
Yeah.
But what is very pertinent is the fact that when you talked about the intercourse, for instance, intercourse is like human intermingling of people, human movement.
Yeah.
Because see, it's the skill sector. For example, Bangalore today, all the Bangalore call centers. You talk about the interneting, all these jobs-oriented work, the skill sector, for instance. This is also, there's a lot of migration.
Yes.
These kind of things.
Yeah.
So things of that sort is also happening in the country today. So I think the time has come, very, very correctly, other than I will not go into the contentious issues where, you have so many things like you have to have the previous sanction of the President of India. You have,
it's complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
It's not very easy as you say it. But yes, the time has come for the legislature. I mean, my esteemed colleague is here. I'm here. I think time has come in Manipur today to seriously think of at least imposing certain reasonable restrictions which will be beneficial for the state, and that should cut across the party, should cut across board, and I think the students, the community, the people of Manipur, the citizens of Manipur can help us on that.
So essentially the President's assent is important, but it's a complex activity because the moment the President's approval is required, it essentially brings into focus the central cabinet, and the President can't act without the aid and advice of the central government. So the central government has to have a voice in it, and the moment the central government has to put in its voice, it has to protect the central issues, and it also has to consult the various legal luminaries in the country. So it becomes a long drawn process, and it is not like if the file comes for presidential assent, the President grants it. So it's a very long drawn process, and that's why it's complex. So there are lots of queries raised, lots of answering being given, lots of defense being given, and then finally the President gives his approval to any legislation. That's all we have time for in this episode. We'll be back with a new episode and a new issue. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.